Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing very well, and welcome back to another P3D video here. Today we're on the ground at Kefallinia, however you want to pronounce it. I think there's different ways. We're in the FSLabs today. We've just arrived here from Manchester, and we're going to be taking this bird back up to Manchester. So the flight time today is approximately 3 hours and 20 minutes. Zero fuel weight of about 58.4 tons and about 11.6 tons of fuel. And that includes 140 passengers on board today. So without further ado, I think we can get into the flight deck. So yeah, we've arrived back here from Manchester, so kind of in a turnaround state. So we need to request boarding.
Boarding requested.
We'll get that done. OA, not sure what that is, but it's default choice, so why not? We can come down to the MCDU and just check the engine, CFM56 5B4. And the air rack, it's old, but it's consistent with what I've got in the flight plan. We're not online today, so it's not an issue. We can come to init. I've got a company route set up, so it's Lima Golf Kilo Foxtrot, and then Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. And that punches out in all for us there. So we can go to departure. We're departing out runway 32. We're departing out via the Latam 3 Echo departure. There it is. No transition. And we can just check for no discontinuities here. And the last waypoint on the route should be LVOS, which it is here, so I'm happy with that. So we can go to init page 2. 58.4 should be here, and the block fuel should be 11.6. Yep, and that'll do the fuel predictions for us. We can come to performance. We can turn on the iPad here, the EFB, go to takeoff, Lima Golf Kilo Foxtrot Kefallinia, gives us all the details there. I'll just cross check the takeoff weight, see if it matches up. It's 69.9 actually. It's a flap 1 departure, it's runway 32 departure, and we can calculate that to get the V speeds and the stabilizer trim and flex temperature. So the V1 range, it's about 141 to 143, so we'll put 142. Nice, in the middle. V rotates 143 knots, and V2 is 145 knots. And it's flap 1, and the pitch trim is 0.3 down. So DN 0.3. Flex temp was 54, I believe. There we go. So we can turn that off for now. And we can get the APU up and running. So master switch on. It's been quite a while since my last full flight. Can't promise how many I'm gonna have out in the next kind of wee while, but hopefully this is the start of becoming back on track with this. So I've got all the ground services loading here, passengers buses here. I've got the A321 Neo here, which is going to Gatwick, I think just a bit before us. This is just a Freeware Kefallinia. It's quite nice for Freeware. I got it off Avsim. So, flaps open. We can start the APU. We can check the EFIS settings, VORs on both sides, constraints. Set the range to 20 here. Both are on ARC for nav, for map mode. Sorry. On the ND, we can just set cruise. We're not on VATSIM. It's 360 today. Cam status is normal. IRS is aligned. Set flight plan in the MCDU1, and in MCDU2 we can go to the doors page and get ready to shut the doors once boarding's complete. So we'll just wait for the APU to come alive here, and then we can turn on the bleed. And yep, it's available now. So yeah, I will get back with you guys once the passengers have all boarded. Alright, so welcome back guys. Boarding is just completed, so we can close the doors and get rid of all the ground services. So disconnect the GPU and the ground chocks, and we can start the block time, and we'll just cross check that all the external powers, or the external controls rather, are confirmed removed on the captain's MCDU, because sometimes there's discrepancies. I'm not entirely sure why, but nope, everything's good, because sometimes the nose wheel pin is set on one side and removed on another, so it seems. So you can't, you can't yaw, you can't turn, you can't use the nose wheel. But it's fine today, and as it usually is, to be fair. But yeah, we can just go back into flight plan on both MCDUs now, get the beacon light on, and request pushback from GSX. It looks like that A320 Neo's gone off. Yep. Very nice. We'll be departing shortly afterwards. It's a very small apron here at Kefallinia. I did have a previous scenery installed, but it had default buildings. It had default buildings spawning in the terminal and things like that. So, and then when I tried to use Airport Design Editor to exclude the default buildings, it just got rid of a ton of the custom buildings as well. So I picked up this one instead, and it looks really nice. Animated Greek flag there. Still waiting for GSX to give us the option of left or right. We'll be going to the left. As you can see, we'll be pushing back out here, and yeah, we're gonna have to taxi up the runway like this A321's doing, and backtrack. Here. This is a sort of pushback truck that goes all the way around here and lifts it up to pushback. There's quite a few different types, although GSX seems to be using the bigger one here, despite this being a smaller airport, but I guess that doesn't really matter. It could be the one used in real life here, I'm not sure.
Release parking brake.
So engine mode selector, ignition / start, and then we'll start engine 2. Right. So we should start to see, well, there's a grey box around N2 now, because that's going to come alive. And when it gets up to about 25%, we'll start to see the EGT, N1 and fuel flow come up. So, nice view outside and everything. It's very nice. Hear the engine spilling up from inside the cabin. Sounds brilliant on the FSLabs. They've done a fantastic job of the sounds. Sounds just like the real thing. I was on an A320 this summer, and it sounds exactly the same. It's brilliant. So engine 2 is available. We'll just cross-check that everything's stabilizing, and there it is. So we can start engine 1 now. We hear the PTU coming in here. Power transfer unit transferring the power to the engines.
Please set parking brakes.
Set parking parking brakes.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Engine starting N1, EGT and fuel flow are increasing nicely. Can you hear the engine spilling up? Listen to that, that's incredible. Gosh, that's brilliant. Where's that A321 gone? It's on the runway, it's taking off. Very nice. Confirm good engine start. Both stabilized. Very nice. Off to Gatwick. So we'll confirm a good engine start. We'll get engine mode selector back to normal. Get the APU bleed off. The APU itself can come off. We can arm the spoilers. We can cross-check that rudder trim is set to 0, and we will do the flight control check after we've set the pitch trim, which is 0.3 degrees down. So, rudder, aileron full left, aileron full right, elevator full up, elevator full down, neutral, and then rudder full left, rudder full right, neutral. Brilliant. We can get flaps to 1. Don't need any anti-ice. And ecam status is normal, or it should be anyway. Yep. And the doors are all, the slides are all armed and doors are all closed and locked.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Just have to wait for a signal on the right somewhere. There's a guy coming. Can you see the aircraft at the moment? He has already disappeared. Signal on the right. Yep, there's a hand. That is us cleared to begin our taxi out now. So nose light can be set to taxi, and the parking brake can come off, and we can disconnect the pedals and enable nose wheel steering. There we go, that should be enough to get us on our way for now. Test the braking, set max on the auto brakes, dashers and balls, all the speed, heading and altitude are in managed mode. There's no other traffic on the runway or arriving in. So we can get the strobe lights on as we're about to enter an active runway, and the runway turn-ups can come on as well. We'll begin our taxi up runway 32, or technically up runway 14, and then we'll backtrack. And then, well, we are backtracking now actually, and then we'll turn around and we'll be lined up on runway 32, hopefully. Right, so still a few more things to do before departure. TO config and press. There we go. Oh, that didn't register. Come on. Yep. There's no more blue text on the ECAM memo, so we can turn on weather radar, and predicted wind shear can go to auto. Flight director is on, and anti-skid and nose wheel steering is on as well. Brilliant. And we can set transponder, just set the mode to auto here. And check the wheel temperatures. They're up at 30 degrees, but it only has to be greater than 150 for us to need a brake fan. Engine mode selector, double check it, it's at normal as it should be. And the transponder, we can set to ARE now. There's no one departing or arriving before us. Weather radar plus 5 degrees up, that's fine. And anti-skid and nose wheel steering again. Another check that is on, very important. So we'll just get the landing lights on and the nose wheel, or the nose light to take off in preparation for departure. And yeah, the next thing is pretty much just taking off. So we'll speed up a little bit to about 15 knots now. just get down the runway here and we'll be ready to begin our journey to Manchester. Lovely Greek island here, Kefallinia. I've never been. Would be a nice place to go though, I'm sure. So this is my first video with this new microphone I've got, so I'm no longer speaking into a headset, so I hope there's an audible quality increase. Hope you can hear the improved quality. Hopefully it feels or sounds a bit less robotic. Hopefully. So we are now just about well, we are lined up, but we're not quite in the runway threshold just yet. Right, that's it. That's great. So we can set N1 to 40%. Start the chrono. And command flex 54, SRS. Auto thrust blue. 100 knots, so we can release the side stick. Accelerating nicely. V1 or rotate. Nice smooth departure. Rotation into the air. Positive rate of climb, gear up. Trim the elevator up a bit. Disarm the spoilers right away. And get our flaps up now. And we can set climb first. And get the autopilot kicking in. That's the gear up, spoilers disarmed, thrust set to climb, autopilot on and flaps up. So we won't begin to tidy up just yet. Look at that, that's incredible. Oh gosh. My gosh. What a view. We can begin cleaning up now, so engine mode selector, we can again check it's normal as it is, spoilers are disarmed, flaps are up. The nose light can come off, and as can the runway turn off light. Packs are on, and anti-ice is not required right now. There's 8,000 feet, so we'll set standard 3 times for the QNH. Cabin pressure is now 1013.25 hectopascals. Lovely. Look at that. That's a brilliant departure, that. Climbing like a rocket. So we're about to pass through 10,000 feet. Like so. So we can get the seatbelt signs off and the landing lights off and retracted as well. I hope you enjoyed the departure, and I will speak to you guys in the descent. Okay, so hello everybody, welcome back. You join me just as we're descending through 10,000 feet, so we can get the landing lights on right away and the seatbelt signs back on. It's been a nice flight, relatively uneventful. Although there was a bit of a runway change. I thought we were landing 23 right, but we're landing 05 right, and I changed that not long ago, but not to worry, still plenty of time. So yeah, we're all set now. We're on the approach now, so we can also get the landing system on, and that includes the backup one as well, and we can actually also go and activate the approach mode in MCDU. So if we go to performance and activate approach phase, that does that. So that's going to enable all of the features of the ILS to come alive. Glide slope and localizer. So there's really not much more, we're just kind of flying a straight line until we intercept the localizer. Okay, so we've just descended through flight level 50, which is our transition altitude, so we can set the QNH to the local, which is 1014. So we are descending now down to 3,000 feet, which is the altitude we'll intercept the localizer at, and we can see the airfield here. So we'll bring out flaps 1 now. So that'll help us to decelerate a little bit, add some much needed drag. We are a little bit high, so we'll engage vertical speed a bit. We can bring the range down a bit. So we are catching up nicely to our desired flight level at this point. Yeah, we can reset that to managed mode just about now. Just needed to descend a bit quicker there, we weren't descending quite fast enough. Now we're below the glide, so we'll be able to enable approach mode when we're actually below the glide slope, and we'll be able to follow it down. So that's how we're going to be doing it. Like most ILSs, it has to be said, but yeah, sometimes this plane doesn't quite descend as much as you'd like it to, I feel sometimes. Maybe that's on my end, but I've noticed it a few times now. So we're turning on to the localizer, so I will activate approach mode just when we're about to intercept that. I've also noticed that the speed isn't, it doesn't normally quite go down to the S speed, even when you want it to, so I am going to set it to that. And then that'll allow us to bring out flaps 2 a bit sooner. So we'll activate the approach mode now, we'll arm that, and we will begin to set flaps 2 just as we get a bit closer to 164 knots. And our VREF today is 137 knots. Just cross-check that. Yeah, 137 knots, so we'll bring that all the way down now, actually. So, we've intercepted our final approach path. So we're gonna get both autopilots on, we're gonna get gear down, we're gonna arm the spoilers, we're gonna set auto brake to low, and we are going to get the nose light on and get the runway turn off lights on as well. We can start to set flaps full. Just get to a point where we're fully configured, nice and early would be great. Flaps full now. Very nice. Gorgeous. So, we're not doing auto land, it's just procedure to set 2 autopilots on final approach. This all worked out very nicely. And there is an aircraft departing out 05 left. It's a 2E737 Max going to Hurghada. So that's a nice long flight for that. But about 1,000 feet radio altitude, I will disengage the autopilot and it will be my aircraft to land. Got 6 knot wind. It's not too windy. It's pretty nice conditions here at Manchester, as you can see. A bit overcast, as you can see, as usual, but that's just Britain for you. I might just disengage autopilot now, actually. There's not anything else that really needs to be said. Aircraft's departed, as you can see. Just small corrections if needed. We don't want to overcorrect ourselves on either the lateral or vertical profile. We're following both pretty nicely at the minute. But just 3 hours 22 minutes on the chrono. It's quite a long flight. I mean, you associate flights to Greece with being quite long anyway. But this has been a nice length. It's good to get back into the rhythm of doing a full flight video. We are approaching minimums at 350 feet. Maybe just sinking a little bit too much here, so I will just try and level out a bit more and we can continue the more descent now. Take out the autothrottle.
100 above. Minimum.
Continuing, a little bit high.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 10.
A little bit of a photo. And touchdown. Reversers are green. And that's 60 knots, so we'll commence manual braking. Welcome down to Manchester. That was a good flight. We'll get a nose wheel steering there already. Get the chrono off. And we'll take this rapid exit here. In the AOC menu, the company message was that we are supposed to go to gate 12 Lima, 12 left, but I don't think I can access that for some reason through the AFCAD, so 12 will suffice. Yeah, 12 will be good enough. So we can cross this runway here, 05 left. Can get a few things off, can get the landing lights off, and the nose light can go to taxi. And the transponder, we'll leave that on actually, just because we're crossing an active runway. We can get the flaps up and disarm the spoilers. And we can start the APU as well. Very nice flight. And you can see the aviation museum there as well. I've been there before. Very cool. Very cool. It's very cool stuff indeed. So it's gate 12, which is the one I departed out of earlier today. In an off-camera flight. So I'll just set that up. It's gate 12. GSX will even let me select it. Will it let me select it? Not sure it will. Yeah, we can select it. We'll do it. We'll do Swissport International. Why not? Why not? So it's just a home run to the gate now. Not a lot needs to be said here. The A321 I've been there since I departed, you know. So no more active runways, so we can get the strobe lights off and the runway turn-offs off, as well as the TCAS can just come completely off now. We can actually check our brake temperatures. They are not above 150, so we don't need any brake fan at the minute. We're a little bit fast here as well. We can get the weather radar off. And that's the APU generator coming on now. So we are free to shut off the APU. Shut off the engines as soon as we arrive at stand, which is now. Good stuff. And the marshaller is there. Very, very good stuff. This is a heavy gate, so you can see there's 2 jet bridges here. We'll only be requiring one as a Category Charlie aircraft. It's 3 jet bridges actually. Probably get the taxi light off just not to blind the marshaller. Just a little bit more. I don't want to go into this jet bridge. There we go. That's decent enough parking. So parking brake, I can get that on and then shut off our engines. He's not going to do the dance, is he? Nope, he's just bowing. Thank you, sir. Right, okay. Beacon can come off. Seatbelt signs can come off. We can get the jetway connected up now. And we can request deboarding.
Deboarding requested.
Okay, so fuel pumps can come off. And we can get the external controls hooked back up. Connect the GPU, 7 nose wheel steering pin, and ground shock. So that, of course, means we can stop our block time at 3 hours and 41 minutes, which is a nice block time. External power can come on, and the APU can turn off, therefore. And the ground services are coming. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this flight as much as I did. A nice rotation down to Kefallinia. Yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, Greece is a great place to fly to. I've only really got into flying to Greece in the flight sim in the past few months, to be honest. It's a really nice area to fly to, and I'm loving this FSLabs A320 to boot. So, on that note, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope there won't be as big of a gap between videos as there was last time. Take care out there, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.